We're back at Lake Sumbar.
It's 4 years since we were last here. We were due back within a couple of years, but due to COVID, etc., it got postponed a couple of times.
Here we are, end of May, 12 anglers, and it's taken over 2 years of planning to get to this stage. Right from logistics, bait, and putting the team together who wanted to come, which is never an easy thing. But as expected, the Lake of Dreams has lived up to its usual style of fishing, thrown plenty of lumps up and lots of fish. The lads this year has been completely different to his last trip. We've had everything. We've had storms, we've had heat, we've had spawning fish for 2 or 3 days, so it's certainly not been an easy trip.
We had such a fantastic session last time, lots of big fish. Personally, I had a incredible fish session of a lifetime, and caught 750s and a new PB 6712, along with a rake of 40s and big fish. And just a fantastic time, fantastic week. So we decided to make a second trip. I generally personally don't go anywhere abroad more than twice because there's so many waters to give a go to, and this is our second and probably for me my final trip to Sumbar. And I say it's a long journey, 1250 miles from where I live in East Yorkshire, but the fishing is exceptional, and we've decided to make the long trip again.
For this trip, there were only ever going to be 3 baits for the lads. Some of the guys have been having fantastic success on code before we've come for the last 12 months. Big fish mix, salmon, caviar, black pepper, with what it's been doing since its relaunch. And everybody's all-time travelling abroad bait, trigger, pineapple and beauty rig. So it was the big decision were made for those 3 baits, and it's been a big success. There's what we have found, surprisingly, is the code hasn't performed as well on this lake as the fish meals. They obviously get fed at sea a lot of fish meals, and they definitely want those more than a nutty style bait. And I would say out of all the baits, trigger pine butt has yet again come out on top on this lake, which again it did in 2018. They love the stuff.
When we arrived, as usual with a big group, we had a draw for swims, we had a walk around first, and obviously, like everybody else, I think there's like quite a few spots you think you could end up fishing in. But personally, when I'm going into a draw, I'm trying to think of maybe 2 or 3 spots that I would pick should I come out, in the early part of the draw. And having the walk around, there's the spot I fished last time, which is peg 22, which is a point over the other side. There was a peg fishing commanding all of this bay to my left, which I fancied, and when we walked along the far bank and come round the corner onto this bank, the first peg, when I walked into it, just gave me that feeling, whatever that feeling is. I'm not really sure what it is. It's maybe a bit of experience, etc. I did know that the fish have been spawning these last couple of weeks, and I know from experience last time that they'd spawned along that margin. So I probably in my mind I was thinking that there would still be fish hanging about in that area, but for whatever reason I walked into that peg 20 and I thought this is going to be one of my top 2-3 choices. And I came about midway out the draw, and it was a choice between 20 and 29, and I plumped for 20, and fortunately it paid off. And in 6 nights fishing on there, I had 38 runs and landed 30 fish. A lot of them relatively small for Sumbar, big fish by our standards, all 20 pluses, lots and lots of 30 pluses and half a dozen 40 pluses, up to 45 pound. So, you know, excellent fishing, but obviously coming to Sumbar, we're coming for predominantly fish of a lifetime, PBs, etc. Yesterday evening, well, late afternoon, I finally got a big fish, and that was a 59 pound common, which it turned out to be a personal best male fish, say at 59, and the second biggest carp I've caught in my life. So once I'd landed it, I thought, I had Rob next to me, who's a good friend of mine, and Rob's been struggling a little bit. I'd basically had enough, you know, a lot of action every night, very little sleep, really tired. I am supposed to be on holiday, and a lot of action. Excellent as it is, but you can't really appreciate them when you're catching 4 and 5 up to 7 fish a night. You can't really appreciate the individual fish. So I decided, as soon as I landed that 59, I spoke to Rob and I said, look, tomorrow I'm going to move. And so that's basically why I'm now sat at the other end of the lake in peg 5, in the hopes of, we've got 4 nights left, which is still a good session, in the hopes of a little bit of pace, a little bit of you know, a good night's skip if nothing else, and hopefully the chance of a bigger fish. So that's why I've moved down here. And since I have moved down here, I ain't got my rods out yet, the breeze has picked up and it's blowing straight into the swim, so hopefully that's a good omen, and it may push a few fish in front of us. I've just got to start the long job now of finding some spots out there.
The bait for this session at Lake Sumbar needs to be shelf life. All the team that's travelled here are usually freezer bait users. There's 1 or 2 that use shelf life in the fishing, but with the logistics of sending it over well in advance, shelf life, everything we're using is off the shelf. We're not having in bespoke baits whatsoever. Everything is 100% what you buy off the shelf, and as proven, it's been devastating with the amount of fish. There's been well over 200 fish now caught, fish to well over 70 pounds, 60 pounds, the numerous 50 pounders, 40s, etc. Our baits are no different whether you're getting freezer bait, shelf life, other than the preservatives. The preservatives used in all our shelf life range is human food grade quality. It's water soluble, odourless, tasteless. There's no difference anymore, not with our baits. What you're getting is the highest quality available, as proven with the catch reports.